Welcome to Prestige Worldwide, the podcast, a weekly battle of wits, debating everything from horseshoes to hand grenades, all for the privilege to be called right. And now, your hosts, Bobo and Travis.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Prestige Worldwide, the podcast. I'm Bobo. With me, as always, is Travis.
Hey, guys.
Coming to you live from a walkout basement in the middle of white America.
That we are.
Doing the whitest episode ever, all year.
Yeah, I mean, sure, I guess this is the white. I don't know.
This is probably the whitest episode we do.
I'm maybe. Okay.
If you have, maybe we should put that on the poll. Is this the whitest episode we do?
All right. Unless we think of something else, that's fine with me.
Okay, because I don't know. I've been thinking about all the episodes we do. This one, for those of you who don't know, we're all very excited about this week. This is a very special week in Prestige Worldwide Land. This is the second time we've done this episode. It requires a lot of planning.
It really
does.
But
it is our Academy Awards / Razzie Awards show.
Right.
Where Travis and I have labored over the last few weeks, watching all the Academy Award nominees for Best Picture and all the Razzie nominees for Worst Picture. And now we're going to talk about them.
Yes, we are.
And in addition to talking about them, this year we've incorporated poetry.
Well, no, not poetry.
Well, what are they? They're poems, right?
They're anagrams.
I bet. Okay, it's a form of poetry.
Okay. Sorry. Not anagrams. I always get that wrong. They're acronyms.
Right, but there could be acrostics if you write them down. Like, so what we're going to do is we all decide this year. Travis had the great idea, which I'm all for this, where we are going to make an acronyms for the movies that describe the movies as movie reviews. So, for instance, if the movie is The Hobbit, I would make the acronym maybe HOBBIT, and I would pick one word for each letter to describe the movie.
Right.
So Travis had to call me a couple days ago to make sure I was actually doing that, because the last couple of weeks we've not been on the same page with how we're going to run the episodes.
Just wanted to make sure, because I had gotten to one that was kind of hard for me to do, and I was like, I'm putting all this goddamn work in, and if you fuck it up, I'm going to be real pissed.
Let me ask you this. How early on in the episode did you have to break out the thesaurus?
Oh, now that's a good question, because it did have to come out.
Oh, yeah, mine did too.
I think... Oh, no, it was the first one. It was the first one I did. Because, so let me clue you in a little bit on how I picked my words for each movie.
Okay.
So I didn't want to have to kind of think of anything that pertained to the movie. I wanted just kind of a random word. And so what I decided is I made a list of 14 different curse words. And then every time I'd watch a movie, I would have Mandy pick a random number. And that's how that movie would be assigned to that curse word.
Okay.
So, yeah. So there are some good ones with this one. So
I use different ones. Sometimes I used a word in the title of the movie.
Right.
I think I did that almost every single one, actually. So.
Okay. All right. Well, then this should be good, because then we're going to be a little bit different. I like it. So, do you want to get started?
Yes.
Do you want to get started with an Oscar movie or a Razzie movie?
So here's my thoughts, and I don't know if you want to talk just generically about these movies before we move on to the poetry / an acronym / whatever you want to call this.
Sure.
I have many more thoughts on the Razzies than on the Academy Awards.
I sort of agree with you on that.
Okay, because
I actually
people. What? Go ahead.
I was going to say, actually, that's not true, but I will, because of the number of Oscar nominated movies. There are more.
Yes, that's what I was leading to.
There are more movies that I found myself not caring, or like as soon as I was done with it, I was like, okay, decent movie, not going to win.
See, now, I don't even know what's going to win or not. I don't care about, because I don't know how the voting actually works.
Okay,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I have no idea who's voting for who or what the process actually is.
Right.
So I'm not going to we'll try to pick our winners. I'll pick what I think was the best out of like 9 average movies.
Right.
And I'll also put in the peremptory, where is Star Wars? How is this not one of the 9 best movies made this year? I don't understand how it's not, because it is. But anyways.
I mean, at this point, I disagree with you wholeheartedly.
You thought all these 9 movies we watched were all better than the last
No. I'm sorry. Not all 9 of them, but it wasn't even close to the top 3 in my book.
Oh, well, okay.
So
I would pick Jedi over all these. So.
I know you would, but let's get into it. Let's start
all
with
right.
let's start with. Do you want to start with an Oscar movie?
Can we get 50 Shades Darker out of the way?
Sure, we can do
Oh wait,
that.
that's a Razzie movie, isn't it?
But we can start with that. That's fine with me.
Yeah,
I don't care.
that's the first on my list because I want to get it out of the way.
Okay.
So here's my poem for it. I used gray,
Okay.
generic, retarded, embarrassing, and yuck.
Okay. And again, this is random. My word is buttfuck. I did
Great.
boobs, under boobs, tits, taint, fur burberage, utterly corny, kinky.
Yep.
That movie.
I mean, it's basically like a Skinemax movie.
yes, it with a higher budget, I suppose.
It's a higher budget Skinemax movie, and unlike the first movie, 50 Shades of Grey,
Right.
the sequel is more like a Skinemax movie because the plot is even more like mainstream and watered down, I felt, than the first one.
So you've seen the first one?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Because I was wondering if you had seen the first one and if you were coming into this one like completely blind. But
No, I've seen the first one. Don't ask me why, but I
Right.
have seen the first one. And I kind of felt like, do you remember that, the first one's kind of like a trip like into bringing someone into like this deep dark world, you know what I mean?
right.
Sort of thing. And it's also got a shitload of like basically like, softcore porn. But
Right.
the second one, like it completely abandons the first one, I feel like.
I you know what? Honestly, I watched it. I had already seen it, so I didn't watch it again.
Okay.
And I have forgotten most about both of them, the first 2 movies. And I know I'll see the third one. I'm gonna see it. I'll put that out there right away. I know it's gonna happen.
It's going to be on the list. That's why we're going to have to see it.
It's gonna be on the list, or it's just gonna be on fucking HBO, and I'll watch it with Mandy. But they're so forgettable that I don't really remember much about it. So
I'm going to say that a lot in this episode, and not about just this movie, but there's a lot of movies because there are 9 Academy Award nominees, and 6 or 7 of them, I don't know, man. They kind of run together.
okay, all right, well that's good. That's good because there was one on the list that I was actually excited to see, and yeah, it kind of felt that way for me as well.
Okay.
All right,
So we got that out of the way. So
got-
50 Shades Darker.
50
Now,
Shades God.
I do want to preface this
Uh-huh.
for this whole episode. I did not watch one movie that was as bad as Manchester by the Sea. There's not one movie in this whole crop of 14 movies.
Oh my God, you are so wrong on that one. It's hard for me to take anything that comes out of your mouth serious after that one because there is one on this list. There's 2 on this list that are probably the top and the next worst movie I've ever seen.
I will also say that again this year, the worst movie for me was on the Academy Award list, not on the Razzies list.
Oh my God! Oh, you're out of your fucking mind. Anyways,
Okay.
all right. So let's
I love this because I like how mad you get about my thoughts on movies.
because it's not even fucking close. Like I feel like this year the Razzies got it, and us being card carrying members got it
Yes, absolutely.
right. In the sense that like last year there was a Bad Grandpa, and that was a basically decent movie. There was not one decent movie on the Razzies list.
I agree with that. I still think the worst movie though was on the Academy Award list.
I think I can guess that one, and if and you know what, I'm gonna guess it right now,
Do it.
and then we're gonna go to that one.
Okay.
Phantom Thread.
Nope.
Ooh.
Phantom Thread, is that the period piece one?
Yes.
Yeah, I barely remember that movie.
Okay.
It's
then
it's very forgettable.
Then my other one, my other thing, I guess my other guess is Lady Bird.
Oh no, not it either.
Oh Jesus. Okay, well let's do either Phantom Thread or Lady Bird.
Let's go in order. So we'll do Phantom Thread.
Okay.
My word for that was bored.
Okay.
So boring, obtuse, reaching, easy, and dull.
Okay.
To me, the movie was just a weird period piece where I was bored the first minute of that movie, man.
Okay.
And ooh man, if you had to ask me what that movie was about again, I'd have to really struggle. I know something about designing and things like that. Ooh man,
Right? Okay.
Ugh.
My word. We'll get to this. My word is goddamn. I put great acting, devilish detail, another meticulous narrative. I'll be honest with you. I like this movie. I'm not going to say I really like this movie. I don't necessarily know that it belonged in the Oscar category.
I don't think it's even close to one of the best movies of the year.
I will say though, I liked it. The real shit of this is Daniel Day-Lewis's last movie. So
I saw that. Yes.
And which pretty much seals up the Oscar for him.
Not for Best Picture though.
No, not for Best Picture, for Best Acting. And I don't think that he deserves that this year.
I don't either. Right. I don't think anything in this movie was. I mean, I'm surprised you thought there was good acting in it. I thought it was pretty generic.
Oh, I thought he was. No, I thought he did a great job.
He's always good, but I don't think there's anything special about this movie.
And
you know what I mean?
I thought the girl, the main girl, she did a great job in kind of twisting her attitude during the movie. And I really liked it. I mean, I'm a Paul Thomas Anderson fan. I know you like Punch Drunk Love.
Yep.
And I kind of felt like this is another one of his, he's had some real stinkers, but I felt like this was one of his. I liked it. Like I said, I liked it. It's just, this is not for most people. This movie is not for most people. People don't like just glimpses into somebody's life.
No, they do not. And I didn't like it. So.
Yeah. And usually they like a start and an end and kind of summon it all up. And so I'm not surprised that you didn't like this.
There are a lot of movies. I agree with you about summing things up in the whole movie. Right. There are a lot of Oscar movies this year that don't do that,
and I'm fine with that.
I mean, I guess, but a lot of them I feel like leave all these loose ends, and I just don't know what to do with it.
Right.
I don't know. Whatever, but
okay. Let's move on to another movie. Do you want to bounce back and forth, or do you want to keep going?
Let's go to the one you talked about.
Lady Bird.
Yep, you go. What you got? What word do you have for Lady Bird?
My word is piss flaps.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh. And also this one was like I'm just gonna go through it and then we'll talk about this. So okay. Piss flaps. Path is standard. She flaunts leadership. Absentee parents. Sure.
Okay.
And I'll
my word is bird.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. What was your word?
Bird.
Okay.
Bright, interesting, reasonably funny, and daring.
Okay.
I like this movie. I thought it was pretty solid.
I'll be honest with you. This one was forgettable for me.
Wow, really?
Yeah. Like, I to be honest with you, the reason why I put sure at the end of this one, because I didn't even I couldn't be bothered to try to find another S word because I just didn't care.
Okay.
I went into this movie I was like, I'm gonna like this movie. I'm really hopeful for it, and I came out of it. I was like, okay, it was okay. It just I don't I feel okay. Like I felt like this one, and I know this is a hot take, but I feel like because this was directed by a female director, that's how it got into the category.
Ooh, I thought it was one of the best movies in the list.
Really?
Yep.
I'm not surprised by that. Actually, I'm a little bit surprised by that.
Well, it was one of the only movies I could actually pay attention to. So.
Okay. All right. So what movie do you want to do next?
Let me see what's on the list. Okay, the movie that you did not guess that I hated more than any other movie in the fucking world.
Okay.
Call Me by Your Name.
Oh my god. Okay.
I hated this fucking movie.
Okay.
Oh my god. I don't know. Sure. My word is gross.
Okay.
Grimy, ramming, and I put parentheses for the gay sex. Obtuse, salacious, and slimy.
Okay. My word.
I didn't like it. It made me feel like filthy watching. I don't know. Didn't like it.
Okay. My word is bitch tits.
Great.
Here goes, and pay close attention. Boy's isolation, temptation, creates his time in tight spaces.
Ooh, look at you. I like what you did better because you kind of had to like fit the words for like these random words. I kind of had to think of the words. I should have done your method. It would have made it a lot more fun, I think.
It was frustrating at some points because there was things that I did really want to say about these in reviewing them, and I like with Lady Bird, it was tough for me because I was basically just giving like I don't know. That was hard for me. This one wasn't that hard, but I'll tell you what, I really like this movie. I figured you would. But here's the thing, it wasn't until almost the very end that I really liked this movie, and I actually set out to hate this movie. I think it's kind of ridiculous. If anybody who doesn't know, this movie's Call Me by Your Name. It's about a 17-year-old boy, and his dad's a professor, and they live in Italy.
Right.
And his dad has a college intern come live with them for the summer, and the college intern, who's a male, has an affair with this 17-year-old boy.
Yes.
And I knew the plot line before I went into it, and I'm thinking, this is insane. Like, how is this movie up for an Oscar when, like, if the genders were...
I'm still asking that question.
Okay, but if it was an older guy and a 17-year-old girl, I don't think this gets any kind of notoriety.
That is one of my biggest problems with the movie, is that it's basically rape. Right? Statutory rape?
Statutory rape.
I mean, that's a problem, right? I mean, are we celebrating the fact that now we can have a Best Picture nominated movie where you basically talk about statutory rape and like you praise it?
Now, let me ask you this question.
Okay.
Does it change anything that it was set in Italy?
No.
Does it not?
It shouldn't.
Is statutory rape still a thing there? Or what?
It doesn't matter because the graduate student was American, right?
I don't know, because
he's Jewish American. To answer your question,
well, yes, oh yeah.
He knows it is,
but I don't know. I don't know if it does change anything. I don't know the answer to that question. That's why I asked it.
Well, let me pose his answer to you though. We're going a little bit of a side. It's okay. He is an American right. Graduate student, so he's obviously an educated, smart individual who comes from American law. I don't care what country you're in. If you live by a certain amount of customs from America and you go to another country, it doesn't make things legal because you're in that country. He's 17. He's the one being taken advantage of. The 24-year-old knows that.
Right.
So it shouldn't matter what country it happens in as long as the 24-year-old is the one coming from the country who knows the rules.
I guess.
That's my thought.
I just looked it up. The age of consent in Italy is 14.
Well, yeah, age of consent in other parts of America, though, are less than 18 also.
Right, no, but like, so. I don't know. I like I said, I started to, I was on the fence about this movie until the dad's reaction at the end. Like, towards the end. And
he's, okay.
And I was shocked by the reaction. And I don't know, it made me feel better about the movie. And I'm trying to keep it a little bit ambiguous, so I'm not spoiling anybody or spoiling anything for anybody. But I
already spoiled by saying I thought it was the worst movie of all the movies I watched this year. So
wow, I'm surprised.
I thought it was terrible.
I'm surprised. There are definitely worse ones. Oh yeah, I mean, dude, it's not even close.
I'll watch the Emoji Movie again before I watch this thing.
Oh, you're right. Oh, I don't. Yeah, I don't understand how you can say that. And we'll move on to the Emoji Movie so we can. But wait,
come on, man, Textopolis.
Before we move on to the Emoji Movie, do you know who Michael Stahlberg is? And I hope I know I'm pronouncing that name.
I do not think I do.
So apparently this year, if you want to get nominated for an Oscar, you put this man in your movie. Because he was the father in Call Me By Your Name. He was the scientist in Shape of Water. And he was also the New York Times owner in The Post.
Oh, okay. I did notice. I didn't notice it in The Shape of Water.
Oh, he's the
scientist. I did notice he looked like the guy in The Post.
You know what the funny thing is? Mandy said the same thing to me. Because I was like,
Okay, so I'm not alone there. Okay.
No, I was like, that guy's been in 3 movies now that we've watched. And she's like, what? Who? She was like, what? I was like, he was in The Shape of Water. She's like, who was he in there? I was like, he was the fucking main scientist.
Didn't realize that at all.
I mean, that's a testament to his acting.
I guess so, because it went over it for me. I don't know.
But yeah, so.
I'm glad Manny and I are on the same page.
And also, before we get off of Call Me By Your Name, apparently it has been announced there is going to be a sequel.
I don't care.
I don't know how you fucking make a sequel to that movie.
I do. The dude that comes back and has another vacation in Italy and has another affair with this little kid. Like, whatever. Like,
I guess.
The movie's stupid. I hate the whole plot. I hate the whole premise of it. Whatever. That movie's trash.
All right, let's move on to the Emoji Movie then.
Let's move on to a better movie. Let's see here. I have my word. I think I used the word emoji for Emoji Movie.
Okay.
I did. So, Emoji Movie for me. Entertaining, moronic, overply, jumbled, and indefensible. So, I guess if you're the age 7 or whatever, this movie's entertaining. So I put that on the list because it's whatever. You know what I mean? It's a fucking terrible kids cartoon.
Okay.
But it's a kids cartoon movie. Maybe I don't get part of it. Maybe it's just supposed to be dumb because it's stupid and it's supposed to be stupid. But whatever. You know what I mean? It's bad.
Well, let me go through mine and then we'll discuss. So my word is queef. So it is quite underwhelming. Emotional entertainment forgone.
We have the same review, basically.
Yeah, I mean, no, and I completely disagree with you about being a kids movie. I don't give a shit if you're making a kids movie. If you're making, you make a movie to be entertaining for most people, and
I guess my problem with it is it made a ton of money. It made like $200 million. People went to go see it. So I guess it was entertaining because it's just a cartoon movie. And it's called the Emoji Movie. It's not going to be some great work of art. I think it accomplished its goal, though.
I mean, I guess I will say one of our past guests, Andy, his kids love this movie.
I'm sure. I think it sucks, but whatever. You know what I mean? But it's not her. It's pretty bad, but I don't know. Kids movies in general, I don't like. So
I guess I'm right there with you, and I'm sure there was other movies that could have been on this list, and maybe this one didn't deserve it because of the kids' nature of it. But there are plenty of examples of kids movies that are palatable by adults.
Oh, and true. Absolutely. This is not. Yeah, there are kids movies that are great. I mean,
right.
Like, yeah. Okay.
So
we're on the same page there. It's still a bad movie. I'm not saying it's not a bad movie.
Yes, totally bad. Yeah. Okay. Let's go back to an Oscar movie here.
Let's do it.
How about let's go with Get Out, because I'm curious about your thoughts on this one. But I'm going to go first.
You go first. Go ahead.
My word is cum dumpster.
Jesus Christ, Travis. God damn, man.
Dude, I was swinging for the fences with some of these words.
You know what? I think you hit a home run on all the words. You win that competition this year, okay?
All right, so cum dumpster. Clearly underdog. Muscular dude under murderous parents. Slave theory. Everybody run.
Slave theory. There was a lot of racism in some of these movies this year.
There was.
This one and the other one, 3 Billboards,
yes,
the biggest examples. But
yeah.
So my review, I used Get Out. I used the actual words. Good, entertaining, thought-provoking, original, unique, and tricky. I didn't find it that scary for a horror movie.
Right.
I don't know. Did you feel the same way about that?
Okay, so I ruined this movie for myself. I'll put that out there right away.
Okay, what'd you do?
So I went into this movie thinking there was a twist. And the entire time, I was like, oh, well, there it is. Like, there's the twist. There's the twist. Nope, that's not the twist. Okay, there's the twist. For some reason...
You're looking for that M. Night Shyamalan moment.
I was. For some reason, I don't know why I got it through my head that the movie wasn't what it seemed. But for some reason, that's exactly what I was thinking the entire time. So, like, as I got to the end, I was like, really? Everything was, like, as it appeared? Like, that doesn't seem right. Like, I don't know. And as I went back and thought about it, it is a good movie. It's probably one of the better horror movies made in recent years. But
It wasn't that scary though. Is that a problem?
Yeah, it wasn't that scary. You're right. It was more of a thriller.
Okay, there. Okay, yes, got it. Okay, that's what I'm thinking. Yes.
Yeah, but
Yes.
I mean, let's be honest. It's not going to win the Oscar.
Oh God,
But-
no, not at all.
I'm
I'm
not
not sure I
even-
got nominated,
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm not sure it should have been nominated.
which is weird because it was one of the better movies on this list. I thought.
Not for me.
Oh, okay. I thought it was pretty good. Which means, I mean, it was okay. I would say I don't really like
Yeah.
horror. I'm not really a big fan of that genre.
Yep.
But for what it was, I appreciated it. Which means, I guess it should be on the list because, I mean, if I can like it, then whatever, you know. But
Yeah. So
yeah, okay. I don't know. It was an interesting addition to the list. Maybe it wouldn't have not made the list if they didn't have 9 fucking movies on the list this year.
yeah, I feel like again, hot take. There's the director again for this one. I feel like there may be some reasons that this got nominated.
I guess.
Like-
I mean, it's just a bunch of white dudes giving each other awards again, which is why it's the whitest episode we do. So I don't really care about why something's on the list. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of politics behind it. I don't think the best movies get picked. I really don't. These are not the 9 best movies made this year. I'm positive of that. So I don't know what metric they use. Number one.
Well, they give actors the vote. You know, everybody that's in the Screen Actors Guild, I think, gets a vote.
And none of those people thought Star Wars was better than some of these other movies here. Interesting.
No, an action movie is never going to get into this.
What?
An action? Oh well, like an action movie like that, like an action sci-fi, like a big budget movie is really never going to get into this.
What do you mean? It's happened all the time.
In a Best Picture?
Yeah.
Like what?
Lord of the Rings?
I wouldn't consider that. Well, okay, maybe yeah. Is Lord of the Rings Best Picture?
Right?
I don't know.
I don't know. I imagine it. I don't know.
Vamp. I'm checking it. Yeah, it was. Oh, it won Best Picture in 2004.
So yeah, it happens. Like yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's not true. I don't think.
I think that's more true than not.
Well, I'm not saying right, but I'm saying it happens though. Like there's no reason it can't happen. Is my
Sure.
point.
Oh yeah. No. It's not like they're being excluded on purpose, but I just think that I just don't think that action movies really get the kind of accolade.
Maybe
that
they should. You know what? That's my whole. I think every year from now on, after this year, I'm going to put the one action movie that should be on the list that's not on the list because they got to put more action movies on the list. That's all I'm seeing here. All right,
Okay.
They're blackballing them.
All right, I'm up for that one for that next year.
Bullshit.
You pick an action movie, and I'll tell you how fucking dumb it is.
Yes, I'm into that.
But all right, so let's do. How about we do the post? You want to do the post?
Sure. Yes. Okay. My word. You want to go first? You give me your word for this one.
Okay, my word for this is dumbass.
Okay.
All right.
That one didn't really knock it out of the park for me.
Yeah, I know. Honestly, it's kind of hard to find 14 different curse words and have them be different variations or different versions of them.
It's true. My vocabulary is like 7 words. So
Right. I mean, it was kind of tough for me. Anyways, dumbass. Duty under manic bombardment. Assist secret scrutiny.
okay. My word is fake news.
Okay.
False, alarming, keen, entertaining, negating, earnest, willful, and surprising.
Okay.
So the movie itself is Tom Hanks. Whatever, great. He's a good movie. You know what I mean? It's okay.
Yep.
It's one of those. Again, it's a bigger budget picture. Like you were just saying, doesn't get on this list. It's like a normal big budget kind of movie that gets on the list. I feel like.
Oh
You know
no,
what I
this
mean?
one is Oscar bait. This is
My problem, right? Okay, well maybe that's true. I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't deserve to be on the list. It's an okay movie. My problem with it is that it's not really historically accurate at all,
okay.
and I don't like that. That bothers me because we've had a lot of good movies that have been based on historical events recently that were very close to being accurate, like Argo, for instance.
Right.
That was pretty close to how it actually happened.
Just
the post,
until the end.
well, the very end has to have a little bit of suspense, but the whole thing actually happened basically how it happened.
Right.
This one's not even remotely true, though.
Well,
and that bothered me the whole movie.
In what way? I don't know.
The Post wasn't the first newspaper to leak the Pentagon Papers in real life. It was the New York Times.
Yeah, that was in the movie.
Yeah, but they outplay the Post being this important part of it. In real life, they weren't at all. Like, it wasn't a big deal when the Post did this at all. Because it was already out there. So the whole premise of the movie to me was based on something that wasn't true.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I sure, I guess.
Nothing. Other than that movie's fine. That always bothered me, though.
But that's not that's not historically inaccurate. Like, what you're saying is your opinion. It's not historically inaccurate. In there, the Times was the first ones to print them.
Right, but they act like in the movie, like a lot of things ride on this, like these big decisions about, like, the fate of the paper and stuff, and that's not how it was in real life. Is my point.
See, and I understand that, but I don't discredit.
Other than that, it's fine. I'm just saying that's why I put fake news for, because I wonder if the Post paid more money than the New York Times to write the movie about the New York Times.
I don't know. Okay, let me put it this way. I don't think what you're saying is necessarily untrue, but what when you look at people that are inside of what's going on, like Tom Hanks' character, this was, whether it was important or not to history or whatever, it was incredibly important to him.
True. Oh, that's true. And the movie itself is still fine. I'm not saying, it's whatever, but I wish it was a little more accurate than I think some of the other movies that have been done recently that were more accurate than it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's my only big complaint about it.
I'll be honest with you. I fell asleep during this movie the first time I watched it, and I went back and watched it again, and I didn't have it was a good movie. It was an okay movie. It was not deserving to be on this list, or to be on.
No,
I don't really. But
I don't think so either. But
when you have Tom Hanks, Meryl Streep, Steven Spielberg, that's fucking Oscar bait, and and it worked. It got him there.
I just don't think it was near his best movie or Meryl Streep's best movie.
I agree. But I will say I was the most intriguing part about it for me was Meryl Streep's character and kind of her evolution of growing a backbone, if you will.
Okay.
So I did enjoy that a lot.
Okay.
So,
I mean, it's fine. It's an okay movie. It's not terrible.
Yeah.
But again, we're talking about the best 9 pictures of the year.
Absolutely.
So the bar should be high. I don't think it clears that bar at all.
I'm kind of right there with you.
Okay.
So
right. Look at that. We're all on the same page for once. How about that?
Next movie.
Goddamn miracle.
The next movie is The Mummy.
Oh.
All right.
Great.
Go ahead and go first.
Mummy. My word is mummy. Meh. Yawn.
All right. Mine is Pecker. Pathetic even Cruise's knack eclipses retardation. So
okay.
We're not going to spend very much time on this movie because I don't think it deserves it. But
it does not deserve it.
Tom Cruise has put out some movies recently that weren't half bad.
I think I like a lot of his movies, honestly.
Right.
I'm a pretty big Tom Cruise fan.
And even with his fingerprints on this fucking movie, it was meh. To use one of your words.
Yeah, it's probably even worse than meh. It's not good at all.
Yeah, it's not. But I don't know.
It's not terrible. I mean, it's not as bad as some other movies we've watched in our past. But
that's true. That's true.
It's definitely not good. I wouldn't go out my way to watch this movie fucking at all.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely not. Except next year we'll probably have to watch the sequel. But
are they gonna make a sequel?
I don't know. Who knows?
Did it make any money? I wonder if I don't know if it made money or not.
I think it made some money.
Did it really? People paid good money to see that thing?
I think so, but because I think we
that sucks. Yeah, it did. You made $400 million.
Yeah. So yeah. There'll probably be a sequel.
Yeah, there probably will be a sequel.
People, you gotta fucking stop seeing these fucking movies. But
wait, no. It's apparently as of November 8, 2017, the directors dropped out, so the future is uncertain.
Oh damn.
Oh drats.
Yeah. Oh man, I am disappointed.
Disappointed. Darn.
All right. It doesn't deserve our time, so let's move on. Let's do Dunkirk.
Okay.
Okay.
Go. What's your word for Dunkirk?
My word for Dunkirk is asshole. A slow start, high-strung optic, little ease.
My word is loud. Loud is the first word also. Obliterating, unmixed, and deafening. Did you not notice how fucking loud that movie was, Travis?
Honestly, no.
Oh, well, I'm not the only one that apparently noticed this because I was talking to someone about Dunkirk and how loud the goddamn movie is.
Oh, really?
And apparently, they've asked World War II veterans about Dunkirk, and they think the movie's louder than it actually was in real life. Like, that's people's thoughts on this movie. Like, the veterans are saying the movie's actually louder than it actually was at Dunkirk.
Yeah.
That's all I could think about during this movie.
Really?
How fucking loud it was.
I liked the movie, but it was a slow burn.
Yeah, it definitely has a slower storytelling style. You know what I mean? More of a throwback. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm again, we know I'm not a war movie fan,
right.
So I will recuse myself from judging this movie because I did not like it at all. It was a struggle for me to watch this movie.
Not at all.
But
there was nothing redeeming about it for you.
Sure, I couldn't even tell you if it was though because I hate Saving Private Ryan, which is like the best war movie ever made apparently. So.
Right.
But this movie's not even close to Saving Private Ryan. Let's put it that way.
I'll tell you what. I barely say this is a war movie. Like, I mean, I think this is more about the civilians that come over than it is.
Yeah, that's true.
Than it is about like a war. So
that's true.
I don't know. That's it for me. Like I said, I like this movie. It's not. The way it was shot, the way it looks. I'm not going to say it's not Oscar worthy.
I don't think it is at all. Even though, I know people love Nolan. I know they love that kind of style, but
no, I really dug it enough for. I think that it deserved to be there, and I was happy it was there because I really wanted to see it and I hadn't seen it yet. But that's it. So
okay,
all right.
So I bet you were a little let down by this movie then.
A little bit.
Yeah, I can hear it in your voice.
I was a little bit, but I'm gonna talk about it a little bit more as we move on to other movies.
We're getting down to the end here.
We are. So let's talk about. I'm gonna save the last two Razzies for the end. And
my two favorite ones. Okay, great.
So let's talk about The Shape of Water.
Okay. My word for this one is water.
Okay.
Wet, altruistic, thematic, engaging, and the R is not just one word, because I don't know if you noticed this, Travis, but my R for this is really stole a lot of thematic elements from BioShock. Did you not notice this movie is like BioShock, basically?
I never played BioShock, so I don't know.
Oh my god! Go watch the trailer for Shape of Water.
Yeah.
And when you're done, and people at home do this also. Just go watch the trailer for Shape of Water. Watch one of the trailers. And then go and watch the trailer for the video game BioShock, which came out in 2006.
Okay.
And tell me if it's not the same, like it's like literally the same theme song.
Oh,
it's
really?
the same stylistic setting. It's like they stole the setting for BioShock and made a movie around it.
I wonder if there's any crossover. I wonder if there's any reason why that is.
I have no idea, but that's all when I watched, I was like, are they going to get sued? They stole the whole theme, the whole style, the whole musical elements, the same lighting, everything.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with my word.
Okay,
it's dick.
Great.
Mine is Disney Imagination, Creature Kindness.
Okay,
I thought this was kind of an adult fairy tale.
Yeah, basically,
and
that's exactly what it was.
I really like this movie.
I thought it was a good movie too.
I was actually kind of shocked at how much I like this movie.
It sucks that it was a little quiet because she doesn't talk.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
But other than that, it was pretty good. That part made it seem a little slower than I think it should have been.
See, I didn't find this one slow at all.
It's not slow, but because some space is just filled with nothing, you know what I mean? But that's my only real criticism.
I found this movie engaging. I watched it in the middle of the pack, and immediately it was one of my Oscar top picks. But yeah, I really,
I don't think it'll win.
I don't think it'll win either. But
I think it's one of the better movies on this list.
I do too. I agree wholeheartedly.
This to me is last year's Arrival.
Yeah.
It's like a good movie. It makes the list because it's just so good, but you know it's not going to win shit.
Well, I don't know. I don't know, because Guillermo del Toro,
Well, that's true.
he very well could possibly win best director for this, because
Right.
he's.
I'm not, maybe, but I'm not saying like best picture though. I don't think it's winning best picture.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And unfortunately, Arrival got overshadowed. I'm not going to put in Rivals in its ethos as last year, because I really think people forgot about that movie. That movie's fucking fantastic.
Yeah, I don't want to say Shape of Water is as good as Arrival, but to me it's the same kind of movie. Like it's on this list because it's just a good movie. It's kind of sci-fi.
Yeah.
And you watch it and you're surprised at how much you like it, but it's not. It's not winning best picture.
Right. Yeah. No. I didn't know that until I watched some other ones. So I like when I first watched it, I was like, this is my pick. And then
I just know that kind of movie never wins. That's my point.
Yeah, that's true.
So.
Let's do what do you want to do next?
Darkest Hour?
Sure.
All right. My word for Darkest Hour is hour. Hard, obfuscated, unique, and requited love. Love in parentheses.
Okay.
What do you got?
Mine is cunt. Mine's just courage under national tragedy.
Okay.
I fucking loved this movie.
It's a good movie, isn't it?
It's a great fucking movie.
This, to me, is a movie that can easily win Best Picture.
And I don't disagree with you on that one. This is my PSA for everybody listening that hasn't seen this movie or Dunkirk. Watch this movie first. I really wish I would have watched this before I watched Dunkirk.
Because it has Dunkirk in it. They mention it.
Because it kind of explains, it gives a little background into Dunkirk before it gets to the movie Dunkirk.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that. I'm a pretty big World War II buff. That's one of the things I really have studied, in college and stuff. I'm a pretty big fan of it. So I knew about Dunkirk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a good point. If you don't know much about Dunkirk, this movie will actually help that.
And it really, I honestly, my first words to Mandy after it was done, I was like, that was fucking amazing. And I really wish I would have watched it before I watched Dunkirk.
Okay, good point. I didn't think about that, but good point.
And honestly, it will be so tragic if Daniel Day-Lewis takes the Oscar this year, and the guy who played Winston Churchill, I can't remember what his name is. Gary Oldman. If he doesn't fucking win this, he's robbed, because he was amazing as Winston Churchill.
I thought he was great.
Yes,
I really like Gary Oldman though. I'm a pretty big fan of his. So I don't want to, you know what I mean? Like I like a lot of stuff he's done.
Well, because he's a great actor. And
yes,
and honestly, I mean, like, you can see it in his face that it's him. But if you put his voice, if you just took the audio from one of his speeches, I couldn't have told you it was him.
He's one of those just fantastic character actors that can just play a role. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. I agree.
Okay.
He should win. I think by far, we're not spoiling anything here about Best Picture. He should win Best Actor, I think.
I agree. 100%. So
will he? I don't know, because again, Daniel Day-Lewis will get it for the movie he should, kind of how Martin Scorsese got it for The Departed, which he shouldn't have gotten it for.
Yeah.
Daniel Day-Lewis could get it for a movie he doesn't deserve it for.
Right.
But trust me, everyone knows who really won it this year.
I agree. All right, next movie.
The last real movie on the list.
You want to finish that out?
3 Billboards. Let's see. My word for that movie is, yes, Winner.
Okay.
So I'm spoiling something here, but willful, interesting, N-words (parentheses with a hard R), nomadic, excruciating, and racist.
Okay. My word was cock.
Okay.
Creative onion, conceals keeper. I'll tell you what. I agree with you on this, and this was an insanely hard decision for me to make. This is my Oscar winner.
Me too.
And I'll tell you what.
Wait, did that just fucking happen?
It really did.
Did we just pick the same fucking movie?
We really did. And
Jesus Christ!
And I'm telling you, I'm happier that we did that than anything in this episode, because
wow,
it is a great movie. And
it is a great movie.
And
there are some parts I think could be better. But
I will tell you, no character in this movie is two-dimensional.
True.
Every character does some sort of they act like a real person. There's good and there's bad to them. Yep. And I was so impressed with that. And again, not going to spoil anything, but when it got to the end of this movie, I was like, this movie's just going to end. And it does. And I was not disappointed in any stretch of the imagination.
I don't mind the ending in this movie. There are a lot of other loose ends that they didn't tie up that I wish they would have.
Right.
Like with the dwarf.
Right.
I really want to know what happened after that. You know what I mean?
I do too. Yep. I agree.
I'm okay with that.
It was so great. But I'm telling you, it was neck and neck between that and Darkest Hour for me. And I only picked 3 billboards because it was a little bit different, and it was, and like I said, the depth of characters is hard to deny, and that's what put it over the top for me.
It's a good movie. Now, I wish they don't spread out. There's a lot of humor in this movie,
right?
But they don't spread it out. It's mostly in the beginning.
Yeah,
I wish they had spread it out a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
that's the only real criticism I have about the whole movie. Is the movie, like, the funny parts are all packed in the beginning, and then the movie gets like super serious, and you forget like you ever laughed at the end of the movie.
Well, it is, but but the movie takes a serious turn. Like it does. It's hard, but
I mean, it's serious from the beginning too. I mean, it's a serious subject.
Yeah, absolutely. But
it was a great movie. I don't know if it was the best movie. If I can compare this to some movies we watched last year, but I thought it was a great movie.
I think this was. Having not given that any thought, off the top of my head, I'm going to say it's better than The Crop last year.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was better than most of the movies from last year, too. I mean, I liked Arrival a lot.
I did, too. But
but this movie's great.
Yep. Yeah, and I'll tell you what, and I want to get to the other movies, so we're gonna jump off this here in a second. But Sam Rockwell is an insanely underrated actor.
Yes, he is.
And he is. He's a journeyman. He has been out there for decades at this point.
Yep.
And it's criminal that he's not a household name.
He does a lot of indie movies,
He does, but he's a character actor in a lot of, I'm sure most people would know him from The Green Mile. But, that's probably his biggest role, I would think.
Yeah, I think so.
Off the top of my head. Too. But anyways, I'll get off my soapbox.
Well, we're on the same soapbox. It's cool.
So that is cool. It's rare, so that is cool.
That is kind of cool.
All right.
I can't believe we actually agree on that. Let's get to the last 2 movies on this list.
Right. I think we got through all of the Oscar ones. Well, before we get to that, what's your Oscar ranking?
Okay, real quick, because it doesn't really matter.
Right.
1 is 3 Billboards.
Okay.
2 is Lady Bird.
Oh, okay.
3 is Darkest Hour, 4 is Get Out, 5 is The Post, 6 is Shape of Water, 7 Dunkirk, 8 Phantom Thread, 9th Call Me whatever by Your Name, or yeah,
Call Me by Your Name.
But
okay.
To be honest, after 3, I don't really care.
Yeah, after 4 is where I don't really care. So like,
what do you have?
So like, my number 9 is Get Out. I'm gonna do mine in, if worst to last or worst to good.
Okay.
Number 9 is Get Out. Number 8 is Lady Bird. Number 7 is The Post. Number 6 is Phantom Thread. 5 is Dunkirk. 4 is The Shape of Water. 3 is Call Me by Your Name. Darkest Hour, and then 3 Billboards.
So we really only strongly disagree on Lady Bird and Call Me by Your Name.
Right. Yeah.
Those are the 2 we're pretty much diametrically opposed on.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. Maybe if I went back and watched Lady Bird, I'd have it, because it legit was the first movie out of all 14 that I watched. So maybe it would change something. I don't know. But anyways, let's get to the fun stuff, shall we?
Yes, let's get to the fun stuff.
So I'm going to tell you right now, my list for the best of the Razzies Okay, I'm gonna jump ahead here for a second.
Okay.
My list for the best of the Razzies. Number 1 was The Mummy. That's the best movie out of this crop
Okay.
for me. 50 Shades is number 2 just because of the nudity. Then you've got the Emoji Movie, and then 1 and 2 or 4 and 5, depending on how you want to look at this.
Oh man, it's a fucking neck and neck race for shit show.
This is Sophie's Choice. Okay. And if I was standing in front of a Nazi soldier and he said you can pick one and they live, shoot them both.
No. You know what the answer is though, right?
What's that? Shoot me.
You watch Baywatch because it's shorter.
Listen, there. Okay, all right. Let's because that thought had crossed my mind.
That's the only thing I could think of.
All right. So what's your word for Transformers?
My word for Transformers is Knight, Knight.
Okay.
Kitty, because I'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay.
And neurologically dangerous, idiotic, gross, horrible, and T for time consuming.
Okay. And I'm gonna tell you what my word is here in a second, but I'm also going to remind you that this was picked at random.
Okay.
I swear to God, this was picked at random.
Okay.
My word is twat. And my acronym, this was a train wreck. Oh my God.
This movie's so fucking bad, dude.
You texted me after you watched it, or as you were watching, you said this movie is so bad. And I was like, okay,
Yes.
it's going to be bad, but I also know how you hate a lot of your hatred knows little bounds.
I'm a hater. We know that. Hate,
Right.
hate.
But I watched this movie and I couldn't believe it.
No, dude. It's that bad.
Like, how are people going to see this?
I have no idea.
I mean, it's just so
Were
fucking
you the only one that
stupid.
felt uncomfortable about the little girl?
About what? Like, just about her being there? Or like
They shove her cleavage in everyone's face, and is she supposed to be like 12 years old or something?
oh my God, all right. I actually didn't realize that.
Oh, she's supposed to be like a kid.
No, I didn't realize that. I didn't realize they were shoving, or that she had anything to do with cleavage.
Oh, yes. It's made me uncomfortable watching it.
I can imagine.
It's no one else noticed that but me. I'm sorry. I was like, Jesus Christ, I don't want to watch this.
Well, I don't notice kids like you do, but that's just me.
Fuck you.
But oh my God, it is so. Again, I would love.
So, did you? What was the? Okay, we're gonna agree on this too.
Okay.
What's the only bright spot in this movie?
I don't know.
Come on, there's a bright spot.
There was.
Yes,
Tell me, and maybe I'll agree.
John Goodman.
Oh yeah. Okay. So okay, I did want to kind of get into that. So what is surprising is there's actually some good actors in there.
Yes.
Anthony Hopkins, Steve Buscemi, John Turturro, John Goodman, Stanley Tucci.
Mark Wahlberg, obviously.
How the fuck did they get all these people to be in this shit pile of a movie?
Money.
I can't. Okay, sure.
They all want a Michael Bay's cock train of wild money rides.
Sure. I guess.
Motherfuck
guess.
Michael Bay.
I-
What a douchebag.
oh man.
This movie's bad, and it's so long. It's like watching The Godfather if The Godfather sucked.
It is the Godfather of terrible movies.
I mean, it's like 2 hours and 45 minutes of like fucking nonstop terrible movie. It's really long, people.
It just keeps going.
Yes.
It's so bad.
So bad.
But
all right, let's get to the last movie then.
let's get to the last one. So we got
Baywatch.
Baywatch.
What's your word for Baywatch?
Mine is pussy.
All right.
And this was tough for me. I have Pizza Upchuck seems substantially yearnful. I'd rather throw up for hours than watch this fucking movie.
My word is rock.
Okay.
Ridiculous, oblivious, crude, and K for cancer, parentheses cancer with a K.
As in, you hope everybody associated with this movie gets cancer?
Dude, it is so bad.
Okay.
And it's like an R-rated comedy, which is usually in my wheelhouse.
Right. Yeah. It shouldn't be this bad.
Right, but there's no tits in it.
That is the least of its problems.
But they hang dong.
Okay, let me get to what the real problem with this movie is.
Okay.
All right. The Rock is in this movie. If you don't know that, his character name is Mitch Buchanan. If you remember, back to the original Baywatch, the David Hasselhoff character, also Mitch Buchanan.
They kind of mention that when they have the little cameo, though.
So, and I'm going to spoil this for you because fuck you, you shouldn't waste your time on this.
We're spoiling the worst movie ever made. Who cares?
David Hasselhoff shows up. His character name is also Mitch Buchanan. It's still how are there two fucking Mitch Buchanans
who don't even look anything alike?
Okay.
Better question: how The Rock fit into that goddamn yellow polo when they were selling at the Sprint store? That's like impossible, right?
But here's the next part of this, okay? Because there's different. There's. Did you notice that the one lifeguard, the blonde lifeguard, her name was CJ?
Yes.
Who was Pamela Anderson's character in the original? And at the end, Pamela Anderson shows up, and she's CJ. What,
dude? Pam Anderson looked terrible, by the way.
Of course. But I don't. Again, what is so mind blowing, and I'm just so over the top, pissed off. How did that make it through the vetting process of the screenplay? How did nobody give a shit that you have the same character
I
name?
kind of knew it was going to be terrible because David Hasselhoff did an interview with Dan Le Batard.
Okay.
And he talked about the movie a little bit, how he's not involved.
Right.
And kind of alluded that it was a fucking shit show. So I kind of knew they kind of took it and made it a train wreck before it even got released. So I was prepared for it being bad, but not CGI fire bad.
Dude. That was going to be my next part. Like, are you fucking kidding me? There's a scene in the movie where there's a boat and there's fire all around it in the water. Like, there's gasoline that's on fire.
Real.
It's all CGI, and I'll tell you, there's also multiple shots in this movie where The Rock and Zac Efron are piloting a boat that are CGI.
Right. Yep. It's not real.
It's so bad, but I mean, but what? I don't know. I just can't. I don't know how. How much money do they have to throw at these guys to make this movie?
Oh, this was a huge budget. I'm sure a ton of money. And again, we're talking about an R-rated comedy where there's no tits and they hang dong.
Right. Yes.
And there's no banging. No banging, no tits, yet there's a lot of dick. Like, what the fuck are you thinking? Oh my God.
It was, again, and this was a hard decision. This was a hard decision between what was going to be the worst movie. Okay, between.
Okay, which one are you going with?
Mine is Baywatch.
Mine is Transformers.
And I agree with you on time, but I cannot look past this. I can't.
My only concern at that point becomes time, Travis. Time is precious. Time is fleeting.
Yeah, oh my God.
Although I'm still telling you, Call Me By Your Name, just as bad.
No, not even close.
I thought it was in the same level of terrible.
Not even close.
Yeah, that's where we disagree the most. I thought that movie was goddamn dog shit too.
There is no even correlation. For the simple fact that a screenwriter can write a coherent script for one movie and can't for Baywatch.
I'm going to make Anne did not watch this year. Last year, she had the pleasure of watching Manchester by the Sea with me.
Right.
And still talks about how fucking famously terrible it was.
Right.
I need to get her to watch Call Me By Your Name just so I can ask her if it was worse than Baywatch. Because she did watch Baywatch with me.
Oh, that's not fair. She hates gay people.
Yes. Oh, the number is 747 banging.
That's 747-226-4464.
We had an end times. We'll save it for next week.
We will.
Really good end times.
Yep.
God, I wish we could show it to you. We're running really late, though, in this one. So call in and tell us if you watched any of these movies and how bad or how good they are. Let's hear your thoughts on some movies you watched this year.
Yeah.
So to recap, Travis and I both have the same Best Picture. We think that Three Billboards is going to win the Oscar for Best Picture.
Okay.
And I do think it's going to win it. I think if I had to pick another movie to win it, it would be Darkest Hour.
I think I'm right there with you, but
one of those two.
I'm gonna go down with three billboards is gonna win it.
I am as well. And if we had to both go for the Razzies, I'm going for Dark Knight, and Last Night, and
Yes.
Travis is going for Baywatch.
I think Baywatch is it just eked out the worst movie, but Baywatch and Transformers are in a whole separate league of their own.
They were by far two of the worst. I
Yes.
mean, they were the two, that and, Call Me By Your Name. Put them all three together, they were the worst three movies this year, and there was a big dividing line between how bad they were and 50 Shades Darker.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
agreed. So go ahead. It's pwthepodcast.com, PW the Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all the social media stuff. Prestige Worldwide the Podcast. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, SoundCloud, Stitcher, all that cool shit. Tell your friends, tell your loved ones. Watch the Oscars. We'll come back next week, do a little recap after we see who the winners are.
Yep.
And you got anything else for us?
and remember the poll is going to be this week. Is this the whitest episode we've ever done?
Oh my God. So white.
So I think that's it for me. Is that it for you?
That's it for me.
See you guys next Thursday.